It's competition masked as connection. When a woman knowingly goes after a taken man, it's usually not because she really wants him. It's because she needs to feel wanted.
That girl is now in ICU. There's now a man also in ICU with life-changing injuries. Now there's another lady as well. What were you what were you thinking? Over another mere mortal, over a man.
To make things worse, after Rielle had done this, the video shows her getting out of the car, standing over Claudia.
Fun, stink BBL, I have a price on me behavior.
It was about to launch a hair business, but Rielle has just ruined her life. And another girl called Claudia's life. And an innocent bystander who just happened to be at the scene of Rielle's alleged premeditated crash out.
My condolences go out to her. The fact that her family have to see those disgusting videos of her last moments, awful. With that being said though, you see the groupies, rub front, sell front, stink BBL, I have a price on me behavior. It just needs to stop. You lot love to look like you're in the proximity of everything with money, when in reality you're going back to concrete jungles, and these men, they're treating you like hoovers. They know that if they come round with a little... Some of you are even taking robbery proceeds. They're taking robbery proceeds and getting excited for it. You're gobbling up cock at the end of the night. You're gobbling up pum-pum. You're sharing all types of... You're just getting passed around. Passed Molly and passed around. I don't think some of you are even aware of the capacities that you take yourself to look like you're living a certain type of lifestyle. It's disgusting. Put yourself back. Just find yourself. Find yourself. Because one day you're going to wake up and you're going to have no soul. Because you're going to have sucked so much and suck so much front sake of being the lit, the lifestyle. Do you think a man will buy you a Chanel jumbo flap and send you back to the council flat if he rated you? Especially not these men that got this mortgage money. Absolutely not. You're for a good time. You don't see no longevity with you. What's not clicking? And then some of you want to fight over these men. And now there's been a moment of madness that has ruined multiple lives. It's disgusting. And this is why when there's too many of them stink, I sell my front BBL gal around, I don't attend the function, because when they realise that you garner attention without having to gobble cock at the end of the night, they will want to attack you. They will want to attack you for nothing other than you don't got a gobble cock.
Damn.
Yeah.
Man, that was real. that was vile. The way she broke down ladies with BBLs, but it's something about them, right? Because even though she looks like she's out of the Spanish community, she acts like a knuckle, right? Because she actually ran another lady over with a car. And you have to hear what she said before she did it, because I don't think she realized this was premeditated. And it went down as one of them M's. I don't want to say it because I want to be monetized. And I respect the next creator that I'm about to share, because the reason why I'm showing it, because the video is sick. I definitely can't show that video. I don't know how YouTube is still reacting to videos that show certain things like that. I know they've gotten more lenient, but I still don't want to share certain things like that. So shout out to this next creator, because he cleans it up for me. Take a look.
360,000 followers on Instagram. It looked like she was about to launch a hair business, but Rielle has just ruined her life. And another girl called Claudia's life. And an innocent bystander who just happened to be at the scene of Rielle's alleged premeditated crash out. Let me give you guys some context. So there was two girls, Rielle, Claudia, and they seem to be having a problem with each other, allegedly over a mystery man. And it seems that things behind the scenes between them started to get very, very intense. And Rielle allegedly posts this on her Snapchat, basically saying, people need to stop provoking me, because if I do something about it, I'm not going to prison. They'll put me in a psych hospital, and it won't be far away from where I'll put you. Basically saying, this little altercation we're having, it could go from words to action. Some time passed and the two girls were in one of the most exclusive clubs in Mayfair, and the details get a bit blurry from here, but a physical altercation breaks out. You have Rielle over here clapping and other girls being held back from Rielle. Then you see Rielle walking over to her car. She opens the door and luckily someone restrains her from getting into the car. The altercation is intense. You can see this girl trying to stop Rielle from getting into her car, and another girl in the red dress helping the other girl to stop Rielle from getting into her car. Then they're all being restrained, and it seemed that somehow Rielle got loose and she runs over to her car. And with the footage we've seen, this is the first time we see Claudia. And it seemed like Claudia was trying to get onto the pavement because she thought Rielle was gonna drive away. But the video shows Rielle turning into Claudia and an innocent bystander that was just trying to get his bike. Claudia was left in critical condition. The innocent bystander was left with life-changing injuries. And another person was caught in this collision. They had minor injuries. To make things worse, after Rielle had done this, the video shows her getting out of the car, standing over Claudia to shout more things at her. And even get more physical to the point where someone had to restrain her. She stood over the innocent bystander and Claudia. Rielle was arrested at the scene and she's facing some serious charges. Now I think it's important to remember, this is a very recent event, so some of the details are blurry. The police are still investigating, so regardless of the clips we've seen, this is all alleged. I am sending my prayers to Claudia and the bystander that was just trying to get his bike. I'm genuinely wishing that all of the victims in this incident get full recovery.
Yeah, this is a sad situation, but it's been happening for the longest, right? Because a lot of these ladies, they get a man, right? And that man can be of certain means, right? Like they're not getting with guys that are losers. They're getting with guys that probably have the bag and don't mind spending it, right? So a girl sees a guy or a girl with a man, or may just see the man, right? See he's of certain means. She wants to be with him. Most girls look at it like this. She's not stopping me. And some girls let it pass because they want that man of means, right? They'll let him do what he does. But she wasn't having it. But let's get into the next video.
Oh my god, did you guys see that video of that girl running that girl over? Oh my god, I've just seen the video. I've just seen the video clear as day.
I can play the video.
Oh my, it's disturbing. It's so disturbing.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so disturbing. Over a man. Over another mere mortal. Over a man. And if you go and see the man, go and look at the man. I mean, irrespective, it doesn't matter what the man looks like, yeah? That you should be doing any of this, right? It shouldn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But at the same time, oh, you've ruined your life for what reason? What reason? Do you think that man's going to come and see you in prison?
Definitely not.
Because that's where you're going. That lady who did that belongs under the jail. And not only that, yeah, you've now, that girl is now in ICU. There's now a man also in ICU with life-changing injuries. Now there's another lady as well. What were you what were you thinking?
You know, because I definitely want to make sure this video gets through, so take that part out. But yeah, it's sickening what she did.
Why do some women go after men that are already taken? It's not always about love. It's about validation. It's about the thrill of being chosen over someone else. It's competition masked as connection. When a woman knowingly goes after a taken man, it's usually not because she really wants him. It's because she needs to feel wanted. It's that unhealed version of herself trying to prove that I'm so good I can take what somebody else already has. And then here's another missing piece that a lot of people don't talk about. Sometimes it's not about him at all. It's about her. the woman he's with, her beauty, her aura, her peace, her confidence, her energy. There's something that's so magnetic about her that stands out. And then subconsciously, that draws attention. It's not you all the time, fellas. Sorry. I know you think it's your body, your charm, and your smile, but often it's her glow. Because often what she's drawn to isn't the man. It's the reflection of the woman that helped to build him. See, that's that dark psychology that nobody wants to talk about. Because it's like, if I can have him, maybe I can be her. It's not attraction. It's imitation disguised as desire. And deep down, that's still coming from a wound. Because healthy women don't chase what belongs to someone else. They don't want another woman's piece. They rather build their own. And then there's a lot of women that chase unavailable men because true intimacy terrifies them. Because being with someone that's fully available means you have to be seen, you have to be open, you have to be honest, you have to be vulnerable. And for someone that's been hurt and doesn't truly know herself, that kind of closeness feels dangerous. So you choose a man that you can't fully have because the distance still feels safer than the risk of rejection. But here's the truth. You will never heal your worth by being somebody's escape from commitment. You deserve a love that's honest, open, and yours. Not borrowed, stolen, or hidden. Because when you heal that wound, you'll stop craving validation. You'll start to know yourself and see yourself and want authenticity and peace. And a woman that has peace is completely content in her own skin. If you had to borrow love, it was never yours to begin with.
This is a crazy situation, right? I wish the lady that did what she did had more sense to think like this, right? Because me myself, I haven't. When I grew up, I had anger problems, and I still do somewhat. But you would never know that because I put a lid on it, right? Like for instance, I would never get in public and lash out like that. I would never crash out like that. I've always held myself back, and you have to think about it. That's what gets you by to your older age. I've gotten this far in years, right? By having some restraint. But also I've gotten this far in years from, not having restraint with certain things. Like as far as cutting people off. Yeah. Your cutoff game has to be immaculate. And especially in situations like this, you gotta say, you know what? I'm not gonna bother. A lot of things you have to let slide in life because it will push you to this, right? Because a person will never know. A person will never know the levels you'll go to. A person never knows what you've been through. And I'm sure that girl's been through hell. But now she's definitely going to go through hell in jail because she didn't think.
And one of the things that still fascinates me, and this is a very female thing, how women will, in competition with other women, fight for the love of a guy who's complete. Like she's married to this guy. He is no eyes, like not good looking, not a lot of money, whatever it might be, just utterly useless. Like a guy you look at and go, like, yeah, just riddance to bad rubbish. Go live your life. There's a lot of other people. Go find another one. And he's cheating. And instead of he's cheating, so I'm out, it becomes, all right, well, I'm going to win this battle. And then the girlfriend is like, no, I'm going to win this battle. And they're both fighting over this dumpster fire of a man. And you're looking at it going like, this has nothing to do with this guy. This has to do with you want to win. Like you want to win over her. You want to win the beauty pageant or whatever pageant it is in your mind. Which to me, these two women should both be like, this guy and both split. But there's something about like that woman versus woman competition for a mate that is like, whereas men, I just don't see that as often. Like if a man's woman is cheating on him, he's not going to be like, well, I'm going to win her love back. He's like, and that's out. He's out. He's out.
It's night and day. And, confrontations happen with men more, but a lot of times that's in the street. And it's over guys that are just like the lady that ran the other girl and those two innocent people over. Even the girl was innocent. She didn't need to go through what she went through. But guys, the thing that grinds my gears, it drives me up the wall, right? When you see things like this.
Women
compete with other women over men is overarching, right? It's a patriarchal,
Patriarchal, misogynistic. They blame everything on the patriarchy. Let's continue.
society, right, that we live in. And this patriarchal, misogynistic society, as women, it socializes us, it grooms us, it rewards us, it punishes us if we do participate in the disrespect, abuse, and degradation of other women, or even if we don't, right? And so part of what happens is we're told, and especially as Black women, we're told that there's such limited supply amongst men, right? So part of this fear of not having enough men to go around, right? So on top of this fear, we are already broken down as Black women, or women period, to believe that our value is only solidified or contingent upon who wants to marry us, who wants to screw us, and who finds us attractive, right? This is where our value as women is solidified and maintained. It is not until we heal ourselves and start the process of sovereigning ourselves as women that we learn to call our power back to us and to resist patriarchy and to resist misogyny, both by perpetuating it on ourselves or on other women. And so in this healing process, right, we learn as sovereign women that not only is our value not contingent upon men, but also that we learn to move in Empress energy. And as an Empress, we learn that we don't chase, we attract. Part of why women feel it be important to compete with other women over men is because you've learned that you must destroy other women in order to have a man. And again, that is working in a scarcity mindset. Empresses function in abundance mindsets. And as an Empress, you understand that I don't have to chase or compete for anything, because what is for me is already ordained. What is for me is already written. What is for me is already mine. And the best way to call forth what is for you is to operate in your healthiest, whole, highest self, right? Part of why women compete with other women over men is because somewhere in your soul is always trying to tell the truth, even when your earthly self tries to deny the truth. And somewhere in your soul, you know that the man that you're competing over is not really yours. He's not really yours. It's not even ordained for you to be with him. But your ego says it must be mine. I want what I want. And part of becoming an Empress is learning how to relinquish what you want and to call in what is actually for you. And again, when you sovereign yourself, you understand that what is for you does not have to be built on dismissing, disrespecting, degrading yourself or another woman. Have a good day.
Yeah, so this right here, it's gotten out of hand. I understand you're a feminist, so your go-to is talking about the patriarchy. It's getting sickening because every little thing you blame it on the patriarchy. You have to start holding yourselves accountable. And then they talk about this Empress energy. It's so wild. It's kind of like, listening to this is kind of like, God saying that the gods of life and all that stuff. And, you know, I'm gods, black men are gods. Like, it's crazy. It sounds like that. It sounds like Sodom and Gomorrah. It sounds like Egyptian days, right? It sounds like the god Ra. Empress energy is crazy. People don't realize that's paganism. But let's continue because this lady's going to break it down. And she's a white lady as well. Check it out.
Women aren't being oppressed by the patriarchy. We're oppressing ourselves, and I can prove it. I can. And I will. We're out here screaming patriarchy and blaming men for oppressing us, but I think we need to have a honest conversation about who's really doing the oppressing here. Because here's what I've realized. Women aren't being oppressed by the patriarchy. We're literally oppressing ourselves and then blaming men for it. We're rejecting traditional feminine roles that actually give us power, calling being a wife and mother oppressive when it's one of the most influential positions we can have. We're choosing career stress over family fulfillment and then wondering why we're so freaking miserable. We're sabotaging our own relationships by constantly testing men instead of supporting them, creating drama and chaos, and then blaming men for the dysfunction we created. We're competing with men instead of complimenting them, trying to out-masculine them instead of embracing our feminine power, and then wondering why they're not being masculine with us. We're making terrible dating choices, having unrealistic standards while bringing nothing valuable ourselves, choosing toxic men, and then blaming all men for our bad decisions. Make it make sense, really. We're letting ourselves go physically and then demanding men find us attractive anyway. And we're promoting body positivity instead of actual health and discipline. So we're literally choosing behaviors that make us less attractive, less valuable, and less happy. And then we blame the patriarchy for the consequences of our own choices. The patriarchy isn't holding us back. Our own mindset is. We're oppressing ourselves with our own resistance to growth, our own preference for validation over accountability. The patriarchy isn't oppressing us. We're oppressing ourselves and then pointing fingers at men. If we want to stop being oppressed, we need to stop oppressing ourselves and start taking accountability and responsibility for our own choices.
Yeah, she said it.
Sexism and patriarchy. So you see how all of these red pill feminists talking about we gotta dismantle patriarchy, we gotta take down patriarchy. It's like whatever. The only reason why you're complaining about patriarchy is because you no longer benefit from it. A clear indicator of women upholding and enforcing misogyny, patriarchy, and sexism, dating. How many times have we seen videos in regards to women arguing about, I don't want no coffee date. You got to take me to a restaurant and it can't be Cheesecake Factory. If you're broke, then say you're broke. How dare you take me to Cheesecake Factory? Now, I've eaten at Cheesecake Factory recently, and
Pretty good.
a early dinner for two was $178.
Yeah,
It's a
expensive.
2.5 star restaurant, all right? But the fact that you expect a man to be dropping $200 to $500 on the first date, that is upholding patriarchy, misogyny, and sexism. I want a man to be a protector and a provider. Once again, you are enforcing gender norms. You are upholding gender norms. I want a man to do this and I want a man to do that. You call yourself a feminist, but you want to reap the benefits of sexism, patriarchy, and misogyny. But then you complain about it when you no longer benefit from it. And the women who do benefit from patriarchy, misogyny, and sexism, you call it pretty privilege.
Well, you know what's funny because all women do, as she's explaining. And you know what's funny? When I looked up a poll, right, it showed men actually believe more they should pay on a first date than females do. And that's very interesting because you look at what's going on. You know, people will say, "Oh, the man is fair; it's ruining men." But they did a poll, right? And men said they believe they should pay on a first date. Females said, "You know, if I invite the man, I should pay." But even those same men said they still should pay. So men are still being men, but what's happened is females have become men so much, like she said, they want to use the patriarchy when it benefits them. And then they want to be over the patriarchy with money, but then still benefit from it so they don't have to spend their money. And men are saying, no more, right? Men have woken up.
Because when you sit there and you really listen actively and you dissect the surface level tension and you really drill down to the core problem in regards to what pretty privilege is women who benefit from patriarchy. I ain't to do with her being pretty, and it has everything to do with the fact that she is garnering favor with the men. So the women who complain the most about pretty privilege or aesthetic politics are the women who cannot benefit from it. Pretty privilege boils down to good old-fashioned textbook sexual competition. The fact that she is getting attention from men and reaping the benefits of patriarchy. Ain't got to do with the fact that she's just purely pretty. Why do you think that the main people who talk about pretty privilege are women? Because men don't give that. And no matter how many times you sit there and try to tell women you need more than just a pretty face and a nice body, you got to have a personality. They don't want to listen. This is why a lot of these red pill feminists will never be a lesbian, because they don't have any game. The playing field has been leveled and they don't have the personality or the range to pull a woman. And so they go back to what they know, being straight, when deep down they're just closeted lesbians who are just bitter and broken.
Man.
You ain't gotta, agree with me. You can argue all you want, but it's amazing what you pick up on when you just observe and actively listen.
It's gonna make me feel bad for wanting a nigga that, okay? It's a difference between having a nigga that got money and having a nigga that spends. I need a shark, okay? Somebody that overly spends, never tells me no. I don't even tell myself no. So you think you finna come over here and tell me no? It's not happening. I need an overly loaded spender. Send me your biggest spender. Need that. And y'all are never.
I gotta stop it right there, right? These wasteful human beings want men to do what men refuse to do. Men don't spend on themselves, right? Like, for instance, I bought quite a few suits, then I drastically slowed down. If you looked at my wardrobe, I wear the same suits, not every day, but I don't wear new clothes every day, right? I'll change up my black shirts, but I keep it simple and plain. My wife has even said it. She said, "Yeah, why do men like so much white and black shirts? Because we're simple and plain, and we will always be like that. So if men are like that, why would most men want to spend on you?" It's wild because Paul Pierce is going to break it down in the next video. Actually, let me get to that real quick. I got to skip this because, we've all heard this talk before over and over and over, and guys are getting tired of it. I am. I'm tired of hearing females talk like this.
Recently went online and people are like getting on her about it because she said that she never wants to hear a man ask about how much something costs or about discounts.
Just as a man, I don't want to hear you say nothing about discounts, cheaper. Even if you do, I don't mind you getting a discount. I don't mind you preferring cheaper and things of that sort. I don't want to hear it as the lady. I don't want to hear you got a problem with no prices or nothing. If I don't live my life that way, I don't want my man to express himself that way. You could feel that way. You could organize it aside from me somewhere else. But as soon as I hear somebody say, that's too much, how much is it? That pisses me off.
That makes a man completely undesirable to her.
Yeah, because she don't value the money like a man if a man is doing that. It's millionaires that's out there doing that.
Yeah, it is. I know that for a fact.
So what if he a billionaire then? But that's how you keep your billions. That's how you keep your millions if you doing stuff like that. So you got to value money and you got to value the long term of the money. Because like this, I'm gonna do this my rest of my life. What if I can't maintain this? What if I gotta get deal? The reason people was billionaires because they sought deals. You understand that?
Yeah, exactly.
They got the best deal. That's the reason they got the money. So she gotta understand that part of it. Like, why would I get this $6 million house and live in it and don't use all this space I got when I can get this other house where I'm gonna use the space and this is all I need? No, women get caught in the way things look on the outside. Like, oh, why is my man? We had the store shopping and he asked how much this costs. Like, that's a turnoff. No. What if I can get something better for cheaper? And I could do something else with this money.
Yeah, and guys are going for those that think like that, right? Because there are a few ladies out there, even in the US, that think like this. And men, if men are not looking to go overseas, they would rather deal with those ladies. But it's so far, so few nowadays, and it's so hard to find someone who thinks like that.
Yeah, I'm sick and I lost my voice, but that ain't gonna never stop me from saying what needs to be said. You want to piss off the sisterhood? All you have to do is be honest, forthcoming, and accountable and admit that we have weaknesses and mistakes, that we're full of flaws. They're not gonna like you for that. They're gonna condemn you for that because you're exposing the weaknesses that women have, the characteristics that women can have that could be either detrimental to a relationship or show selfishness or show greed or show things that are detrimental that other people of opposite genders might deal with. They don't like anything that could reflect that he was possibly right or show examples that he was possibly right. They have to make it seem like it was just her by herself. She's the cancer, so we must bring her down because I am incapable of that. Not me, only those. And they will sit up there and deflect. And when it's time for them to take accountability for what they've done, all of a sudden they need to be a victim. Now it's, I only did this because of him. He did this, he did that. And they don't want to say it was strictly off the strength of them as their own woman that they chose to do that. They not gonna like you for that. The brotherhood will embrace another brother for being accountable and support him on his journey to healing and growing into a better man. But the womanhood will condemn a woman for growing and being accountable and say that she's less of a woman because they want to remain delusional. They want to clap for each other when they're wrong. They want to support being able to put down the opposite gender because they want to feel like they're more powerful and they're more right. But all you're doing is celebrating a bunch of clownness. You're going to remain lost. And the woman that you put down will always be more woke and aware. She will watch you fail as she'll exceed past you. I never cared for the sister circle. I always cared about women that understood what it was to be a woman. To grow up, be aware, be accountable, and make better decisions moving forward.
The Iceman is coming!
Winter is here.